Hey everybody, it's Nick Olson, Chupacabra Offroad. We're out here in Glamis, California. And today I wanted to talk about your sand tire setup for your side-by-side, what you want to look for, some steps you want to take so you can make sure you have a great trip next time you head out to the desert. So we've brought our 2023 Polaris Pro R out here, and your sand tire setup is going to vary based on what machine you have. We're fans of these Tensor Sand Series 33-inch paddle tires. We've run these on multiple different side-by-sides, and what's nice about them is they'll work on a lighter weight model like the Can-Am X3 two-seater or a heavier model like this Polaris Pro R. We mounted up our Tensor paddle tires to the Method 401s. These 401 wheels are that classic styling everybody loves with Method, and now they're available in the 5-lug bolt pattern, which is common on the Polaris Pro R and Turbo R models. So before you head out to the desert, it's important that you know what your tire pressure is, and you're checking your tire pressure. You're making sure that you might not be losing any tire pressure from your last trip. So checking the torque spec of your beadlock wheels is very important, because 1 or 2 psi makes a big difference for how the vehicle is going to perform, the weight of the vehicle, and the condition of the sand dunes. So I mentioned the different types of side-by-sides, how much they vary in weight. That's what I like about these Tensor Sand Series, and that'll also determine what type of air pressure you want to run. So the Tensor Sand Series are 33-inch tires. The rears utilize 14 1-inch tall scoops with their patented velocity grid design here. And what I like about them is it's a great setup for the price. It works well on multiple vehicles. The rears weigh under 30 pounds. The front tires weigh about 24.5 pounds. So you're getting a molded 2-ply tire that works well. And like I said, that relates to how you want to set it up with tire pressure. For instance, out here in Glamis this weekend, it's a little wet. Generally, you want to go a little bit higher on your tire pressure when you have some wetter conditions. And another thing, with this vehicle weighing a lot more than the other vehicle we ran these on, which is a 2-seat X3, we're going to go up a couple PSI. So for this weekend in particular, we're running 12 PSI. We might even go a little higher if we had 4 heavy passengers in the vehicle. You'll start to notice when you're cornering aggressively, if you feel like the front tire is rolling or pushing or not taking advantage of the front rib design, you might want to then play around with it and pay attention and learn, because every trip you go out, the conditions are a little different. Maybe you do have heavier passengers in your vehicle, maybe you don't. Paddle tires are a very personal preference. It definitely varies on where you like to dune, the type of vehicle you're on, your driving style. Maybe you like the rear end to slide around a little bit more. You might want to go a little higher on your tire pressure. So 12 is a good setting point if you're talking about a heavier 4-seat vehicle like this Pro R. On our 2-seat X3, we've gone down as little as 9 to 10 PSI. So I think that's a sweet range to start with until you learn your vehicle, learn your conditions, and learn what you like. These Method 401 wheels are a 7-inch front, 10-inch wide rear. That's going to make most every side-by-side wider for better flotation and also a little more stability. Now, stability, it's good to have your car set up, because out in the dunes, particularly Glamis, you might have a lot of traffic. You got to focus on being safe and having your setup where you know how the vehicle is going to handle. Is the back end going to maybe come around on you if you're going through a steep bowl? Giving it power, it takes a learning curve, takes some experience to learn how to dune, and you want to be safe. You could come up on a group of other riders, and you could be in a precarious position to stop or turn off. The last thing you'd want to do would be to have an accident. So you definitely want to respect everybody out there, and knowing your machine, knowing how it's going to handle is a big part of that as you gain experience as a sand dune driver. So I highly suggest, if you're going to come out to the dunes, to pick up a sand tire setup, paddle tire setup versus your traditional desert tires. They're easier to dune, it's easier to carry momentum. The vehicle's going to handle better once you get it figured out what the tire pressure you like based on your riding style, based on your vehicle. And then from there you learn what you like. Some people like to shoot up the hill. Some people like to focus on good cornering and handling. I say focus on what you like, what's going to make you a safe duner, whether you're following, you're learning the dunes, you're new to the sport. This is going to be a great tire setup based on vehicles around 180 to 225 horsepower. If you guys would like to learn more about this setup or other options from Tensor and Method, go ahead and click the link below in our description. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you out here in the dunes.